If you treat Champ as a one-time win, you'll end up leaving most of the value you've created on the table. This chapter is about the opposite mindset. Your Champ book should feel like a living asset, something you protect, grow, and tap into for years, not a single commission that you forget about once enrollment is done. Once a group is live, you already have 3 big things working in your favor. You have a proven financial win for the employer through payroll tax savings. You've created a personal win for workers through higher take-home pay and $0 copays on core care. And you have a real data trail that shows how people are using the plan. The goal of this video is to show you how to use those wins to protect renewals, expand deployments, and deepen relationships so your Champ book gets stronger every year. Think about the annual cycle first. Renewal and planning seasons are not just a time when the carrier sends a new rate sheet. For you, they're a natural moment to sit down with leadership and say, let's look at what Champ actually did for you this year. In that conversation, you're really doing 3 things. First, you review participation and utilization. Are employees actually enrolling when they have the chance? Are they using primary care, urgent care, telemedicine, and mental health services, or are they still avoiding care? Second, you reconfirm the savings. How much payroll tax did Champ generate over the last year for this employer? On average, how much additional net pay did participating workers see each month? Third, you reassess the fit. Has the workforce changed since you first implemented Champ? Did they add new locations, new shifts, or new types of workers? Do contribution levels and communication strategies still make sense, or do they need a tune-up? You're not there to repitch Champ from scratch. You're there to hold up a mirror that says, here's what you have, here's what it's doing, and here's where we can make it even better. When you run that kind of review each year, 2 things happen. The employer is less likely to drop Champ casually because they can see the numbers and stories right in front of them. And you naturally open the door to talk about next steps, including upgrades, expansions, and bundles that build on the exact results they're seeing. Inside any existing Champ employer, growth usually comes from 3 directions. The first is obvious: new locations, acquisitions, or business units that are not on Champ yet. A restaurant group opens up a new store. A manufacturing company acquires a second plant. A call center adds a new site. Each one of these is a natural copy and paste opportunity. You're not asking them to try a brand new idea. You're saying, we know Champ is working for location A. Let's apply that same structure at location B so those employees can see the same gains in net pay and access to care. The second direction is within their current footprint. Maybe you started with a pilot group of 50 employees and left other departments or shifts for phase 2. Over time, you can look at enrollment pockets and say, these departments have low participation, but their workers look a lot like people who are already seeing good results. Let's do some targeted education and see if we can bring them in. This is where you use results instead of theory. You might say something like, your first 50 participants generated around $28,680 in annual employer savings and more than $4,000 per month in combined take-home pay improvement for your team. Here's what that same design would look like if we added your other 75 eligible employees. You're not pushing. You're simply showing them what they're already getting and what it would look like to extend that same win across the rest of their workforce. The third direction is moving from pilot to full deployment. Many employers want to test Champ with a subset of locations or roles before they roll it out company-wide. Your job is to help them define what success means up front, then come back after a few months and say, we met these marks. Are you ready to move the pilot to standard benefit for everyone who fits the profile? In all 3 cases, the tone matters. You're not chasing volume for its own sake. You're helping them scale something that's already delivering value, and you're using their numbers and stories as the proof. As your book grows inside a single employer, protection still matters, and it's important to frame that protection the right way. Champ, like other reputable medical plans, already has its own indemnity coverage and employer protections built into the plan itself. Harbor Shield isn't included because Champ needs a special defense tool, it's included because Champ is designed to go further for the employer. Champ is focused on improving access to care, creating meaningful savings and value for the employer, and reducing everyday friction for employees. By including Harbor Shield at no additional cost, Champ also helps protect the employer and employees from broader audit risk and compliance headaches at the company level, extending protection across the employer's full benefits environment, not just the Champ plan itself. That changes the conversation. The employer's not just getting a benefit that can improve paychecks and make care easier to use, they're also getting added peace of mind around the broader benefit structure supporting their workforce. That kind of reassurance positions you as the partner who cares about long-term stability, not just short-term savings. It tells the story that Champ is helping reduce stress, costs, and risk at the same time. Now step back and look at what you've created when Champ is working well. You have measurable savings for the employer, often in the hundreds of thousands of dollars per participant per year. You have very real improvements in worker net pay and $0 access to everyday care. You have a steady stream of utilization data and stories. People who avoided an emergency room visit. People who finally went to a mental health session. People who filled prescriptions without worrying about the bill. That's not just a product placement. That is an anchor relationship. An anchor relationship means you have ongoing contact with employer leadership and with the worker population. You're the person who brought in a program that shows up on every paycheck and in everyday life. From that position, it's natural to say, we use Champ to stabilize paychecks and frontline healthcare. Now, let's look at what's next. For some employers, next might be layering in best money moves so workers can use the extra cash Champ created to attack debt or build savings instead of just treading water. For others, it might be pairing Champ with FICA Tip in tipped environments so they can stack Section 125 savings with tax credits on tips. For others, it might be using eCredible to help workers turn their bills into better credit, or exploring Buoy PEO when they want the same level of integration across payroll, HR, and their broader benefits stack. The key is that you're not forcing these conversations, you're letting them grow out of results you can point to. Employers can see the savings. Workers can feel the difference in their pay and their ability to see a doctor. You are simply connecting those wins to the next logical solution, one step at a time. So, how do you protect and grow your Champ book in practice? You schedule structured check-ins around renewal and planning seasons, and you use them to review participation, utilization, savings, and fit. You watch for natural expansion paths inside existing clients, like new locations, low enrollment pockets, and pilots that are ready to become standard. You keep Harbor Shield 125 in the conversation so growth is matched with protection, not risk. You treat every Champ client as the center of a small ecosystem, not a single line item, and use Champ wins to bridge into other MyGig solutions when the timing and needs line up. Handled this way, your Champ book becomes exactly what it was designed to be. For employers, it's a way to improve cash flow, enhance benefits, and tighten compliance. For workers, it's real relief in their paychecks and their access to care. For you, it's a diversified, recurring income portfolio that grows as you protect relationships, expand smartly, and keep showing up as the advisor who connects today's wins and tomorrow's opportunities.